Hey, this is the Entertainment Advice Channel. What I want to talk about today is the topic of the problem with gatekeepers. So, for this video, I'm going to explain in a simple and straightforward way the problem with the gatekeepers' way of thinking in a way that even those who aren't familiar with this topic can understand it. Okay? So, if you're interested in knowing what the problem with the gatekeeper mindset is, then watch this video in order to find out. So, now I mentioned that, let's get started. So when it comes to the topic of the problem with the gatekeeper way of thinking, is that their way of thinking actually prevents genres of music from surviving, because for a genre of music to survive, whether it's rock, rap, EDM, whatever genre you can imagine, it has to grow. In other words, it has to become known by a lot of people and make a lot of money, okay? And that's a problem with the gatekeeper way of thinking, okay? And before I continue on with this point I'm making, I just want to make it clear, I'm not referring to all gatekeepers, because I know there's two types of gatekeepers. The first one, which is the one I'm not talking about, is a type of gatekeeper who just hates things going mainstream, but actually has a legitimate reason for it, because sometimes the masses do ruin things, and they'll take something and don't understand what it's really about, and they just end up ruining it. Versus the second type, who doesn't hate things going mainstream for legitimate reasons. He just hates things going mainstream just because he wants to, for whatever thing he enjoys. He wants to have a more small, cut off community for the music that he listens to, and of course, just to add to it as well, he just hates the idea of people having a lot of money and stuff. Okay, that's the type of gatekeeper I'm referring to. The second type here. Okay, and when it comes to the problem with gatekeepers, aside from the fact that they're fucking annoying, the second type I'm referring to, extremely freaking annoying, is that their way of thinking is just straight up aggressive. Okay, so let me elaborate on what I mean. Okay, their way of thinking teaches you to think in a way that is actually stupid and actually really dumb. Okay, because whenever you have an artist, okay, you support, okay, you have to have them go big, okay, as much as possible. Okay, because not only are there issues that come up when an artist doesn't go really big, such as plagiarism, because a lot of artists do get plagiarized a lot who don't go very big, which you can see many times with many big artists like Dua Lipa. Because I ain't gonna front though, that girl, she really does steal a lot of shit from people and a few others, okay? Which is the problem with trying to not go big, because it makes it easier for people, especially if you make good music, for people who are bigger artists to steal your stuff. The truth of the matter is, aside from that, whenever you have an artist, obviously that artist is a part of a genre, okay? And for any genre to succeed, it has to go big, okay? It has to become massive and become something that everybody knows for the most part, okay? Music genres that are more niche and don't go very big don't make a lot of money and actually go extinct, and have a lot of artists who make that music get tired of it and go to another genre, okay? That way of thinking that, oh, we don't want to go big, is stupid, okay? Not only does something, when it goes big, does it help protect, it from going extinct, because a lot of people know about it, so you have more people who are interested in preserving it, for that matter. It also as well generates a lot of money, and when you generate a lot of money, you obviously have more room to protect that genre, okay? You have more time to pay people who are the artists of that music genre, so they can put food on the table. You have more money for equipment, places you can rent out, all that type of stuff, so your music genre doesn't go extinct, which we can pretty much tell with rock music. It pretty much is going extinct because not as much people are listening to it, which in itself just shows the reason why everything has to go big for it to survive, okay? That is the honest truth, for that matter, when it comes to any genre of music, okay? It has to go big, at least somewhat big. It doesn't have to be big, 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 but it has to be something at least a few million, at least more specifically tens of millions of people know about for it to survive. If it's known by only a few 100,000 people, then it's not really gonna survive. And that's honest truth. That's how the world works. The world, especially with the modern world, which you can thank European colonialization for that. In this post Christopher Columbus world, everything nowadays since the modern world has pretty much started after Christopher Columbus colonized the New World has been about everything being as big as possible and being as massive and as grandiose as imaginable and even beyond. Okay, that's the world we live in. Okay, anything that just is okay with just kind of not going too big and not trying to evolve and become as powerful as possible, or you can say as big as possible, as we saw with European colonialization, you know, they end up disappearing and going away. Okay, I know that's a very huge topic, but in all cases, I'm just being honest here. For anything to survive, it has to go as big as possible. Because some groups of people in the past didn't want to go big, and look at what happened to them. Now we just only know about their existence in papers written by people of the past. Okay, so in other words, with the way the world is nowadays, to explain my point as clearly as possible, everything has to go big. If it doesn't go big, it's gonna go extinct. Okay, and when it comes to music, especially with the way the world is and it's competitive we live in, it's the same freaking thing. Okay, it has to be big. Okay, so if you're someone who just simply says, "Oh, I don't want things to go big," and it's not even like for a legitimate reason, just because you just don't want it to go big because you just hate the idea of somebody having a lot of money, then you're a very stupid person. Because in the end of the day, when it comes to gatekeeping, all it really does is it just makes it more likely that your genre of music is just going to go extinct. Okay, whether it's a genre or a subgenre, it's just going to go extinct. For that matter, because for anything to truly survive, it has to become massive and big, and that's the honest truth. And it's not even just that. When it comes to the problem I have with those type of people, that type of gatekeepers, okay, it's also just their attitude. It's their way of thinking as well. Just to add to that, it's just so freaking stupid. Their way of thinking is oh my goodness, to be quite honest with you, why doesn't this artist go big? Why does nobody know who this guy is? And yes, a lot of them actually are the second type of gatekeepers I'm referring to for this video. Actually do that. When it goes big, they'll say, "Oh, I was actually one of the first people to listen to this artist. Oh, you guys are dick riders." It's just so stupid. Okay, and that's what I'm trying to get across here for those type of people. Their way of thinking is just not only flawed, it actually jeopardizes the success of music genres, let alone an artist's career. They just have this attitude, this elitist attitude when it comes to, an artist or something, which is so dumb, okay? And it's just stupid and it's dumb. Besides, going big also helps promote people. It helps actually make people understand you more, especially if your music genre is based on a certain particular lifestyle, or it's based, like a certain people who live a certain type of lifestyle, like a certain subculture or a certain race, a certain ethnicity, even who knows, maybe a religion. It helps promote it, so it helps make those people respected more, okay? Versus, having something that nobody knows about, and it just helps make things get worse. Just like how rap music helped promote black people and our struggles and stuff, and helped actually lessen discrimination. Because actually, the more people listen to rap music, the more they can't really say they hate black people, because it's like, okay, I listen to your music, I can't hate you as much. Yes, some people do try to fucking flip around it, but at the same time, gatekeeping, um, you know, um, to be honest with you, just makes a situation worse, okay? Because then it's just like nobody knows about you, and it makes it more likely that everyone will hate on you, okay, versus some people who will go like, okay, yes, I do listen to some rap music and some black music, so I can't hate black people anymore even if I wanted to, okay. And that's kind of also another thing that's so stupid about gatekeeping, is that it helps, is that it prevents people more like from being able to promote themselves so they don't experience as much pain and suffering, let alone keeping their genre alive. So that's a problem with gatekeeping, okay. And that's the honest truth. um for it, it's a toxic way of thinking, it's regressive, and it's stupid, and that's the truth. So anyway, this is my video. This is all I have to say, and simply put it, if you like this video, remember to thumbs the video up and hit the subscribe button. And this is all I have to say, and simply put, I'm out. So bye.